Quick reality check about the machine you use for trading. Most traders have absolutely no idea how fast their computer actually needs to be. They just know something feels slow when the market gets busy. And when you say, my computer feels slow, that is not a performance metric. That's a warning sign. Nobody gives traders real performance numbers. You hear things like, get a fast processor or buy a powerful computer, which sounds helpful, but it means absolutely nothing. That's like telling someone to buy a fast car without ever mentioning horsepower or torque. So today, we're fixing that. I'm going to give you the real speed thresholds that actually change how your trading computer behaves. Not marketing claims, not tech jargon, real numbers that matter when money is moving. Now, before we get started, a quick translation because this word scares people for no reason. I'm going to use a term called the CPU benchmark score. A CPU benchmark score is just a standardized performance rating for your processor. Think of it like horsepower for your trading engine. One number that tells you how much workload it can handle. Higher numbers means more processing capacity. More capacity means your system doesn't panic when the markets get busy. Lower capacity means your computer starts negotiating with reality. And computers are terrible negotiators. They don't get motivated, they don't try harder, and they definitely don't care that you're in a trade. They just slow down. And here's the uncomfortable reality. If your CPU benchmark score is under 20,000, you're not running a trading machine. You're running a polite office computer that prefers Facebook and quiet afternoons. That level's fine for email and browsing Amazon. It's not designed for real-time market data, multiple charts, scanners, and executions happening simultaneously. That's like towing a boat with a scooter and hoping for the best. Now let's talk about where most traders land. If you're running a benchmark score between 25,000 and 35,000, your system will run, and most of the time it'll seem okay. But seems okay is not the same as stable under pressure. This range is what I call functional but fragile. Everything works until the market actually does something interesting. Then your computer starts sweating like it owes someone money because this range has very little margin for performance. And when volatility spikes and data floods in, tasks start stacking instead of clearing. And that's when hesitation shows up. No dramatic crashes, just tiny delays and slight pauses and little moments where things don't feel instant anymore. That's performance strain. And traders love blaming everything except the computer. They blame the broker, they blame the platform, the internet, solar flares, market makers, probably even Mercury in retrograde. Meanwhile, their CPU is quietly waving a white flag. The real shift happens once you cross a benchmark score of 45,000. Now your system has breathing room instead of constant pressure. Workloads get handled instead of negotiated. Tasks clear immediately. Charts update smoothly. Execution feels instant because the system actually has capacity. And once you move up to the 50,000 and above benchmark scores, now you're building real infrastructure. Multiple monitors, scanners, heavy charting, AI tools, and backtesting. Everything runs without fighting for resources. That's professional-grade performance. And here's something that surprises people. Many computers that are marketed as high-end cannot sustain that level of performance for long periods. They sprint fast for a second, and then they slow down once heat and load build. That's normal consumer hardware behavior. Trading is not a sprint, it's a full-day endurance event. So peak speed doesn't matter nearly as much as sustained speed. What matters is how fast your system stays after hours of workload. Consistency beats flashy numbers every time. Now here's the part that really shocks traders. Most people don't actually know what performance level they're running right now. They're trading with mystery horsepower, and that makes no sense financially. Imagine running a business without knowing how much production capacity you have. And that's what most traders are doing with their computers. You can fix that in about 60 seconds. I built a simple CPU benchmark lookup tool specifically for traders. All you need to do is this. Click your start button and type in device specifications, and then hit enter. And in the upper right corner of that page, scroll to the top and you will see your processor. Either remember it or write it down, and then go to the link underneath this video. There's a link there that you can click. It's easytrading.pro/score. When you get to that page, type in your processor model and see your score instantly. Once you do that, you will know your system's actual processing capacity. No guessing, no hoping, just data. Because hardware uncertainty creates exhaustion uncertainty. And exhaustion uncertainty is how confidence quietly erodes. You want your tools predictable, and underpowered systems unfortunately reveal themselves slowly. Charts hesitate when switching time frames, indicators load unevenly, and platforms feel slightly delayed during busy moments. Nothing dramatic, just friction. And friction changes behavior. You hesitate, you second guess, and you trust your system less. And that mental drag is expensive. If your trading is just a hobby, that's fine. But if your trading is your income and your life, consistency is non-negotiable. Consistency requires performance headroom, and serious traders build systems for peak demand, not average demand. Because average conditions don't test your infrastructure. Volatility does. If you want help understanding exactly what hardware creates that kind of stability, I explain everything in my complete guide to trading computers. Processors, RAM, GPU, system design, all explained for traders, and that guide is linked below if you want the full breakdown. But first, go ahead and run that benchmark test. Know your number. Measurement comes before optimization. And here's a simple takeaway. Below 25,000 is severely underpowered. 25 to 35,000, it runs, but it's really limited. And 45,000 plus is where real stability begins. That's the performance zone serious traders should target. Trading's already hard enough. Your computer should not be the weakest link in the chain. It should be a competitive advantage. My name is Eddie Z. Thanks for watching. And if you like this type of information, definitely watch this video next. Slam the subscribe button. And as I always say, may the trend be with you.